Welcome back. This is Brunch Education Talk, and I have here with me in the studio Dr. Imafidon. He coined the phrase that every child is a genius, and he's been described as by the BBC as the father of the brainiest family in the world. I would like to introduce to you Dr. Imafidon. Dr. Chris, you're very welcome to our studios again.
It's a pleasure to be back here today.
And it's wonderful to have you. Just before we go on, why did you coin the phrase that every child is a genius?
It's not a phrase, it's a truism. There is no person that is made that doesn't have a seed of greatness in them. So all we need to do is look at the seed, identify the seed, and then nurture that seed. If we nurture the seed, greatness is just waiting to happen. If you look at it, there have been presidents of the United States that dropped out of school. Are you saying that they were dunces when they were in school and then they became automatic geniuses, political geniuses when they became 40 or 45? No. They have always had that genius in them. It's because we didn't have the mechanism, we didn't have the environment, or we didn't have the foresight to nurture that genius in them. We have people that have gone on to win Nobel Prize in chemistry, a very academic subject, but they were school dropouts. So you couldn't have classified them as school dropouts when they were young, and then when they became old, they all of a sudden became a genius. That genius was always in them. It's teasing out that genius in them, which is identifying that talent or discovering that talent, and then nurturing that talent. That the world now say, oh yes, he eventually became a world champion in golf. You couldn't have said that Tiger Woods, for instance, was a dunce because he dropped out of college. He was at Stanford. He didn't complete his degree. But that did not stop him from becoming a world champion. Twice over, 3 times over, 4 times over. He has had the highest number of Masters won in the entire history of golf, considering his background. So there is a genius in every child. It's not just a phrase, it's a reality. And if I tease and talk and cross-examine a child enough, I'll be able to find out what the child loves, what the child is passionate about, and then you then feed the habit, you provoke curiosity, you train, you encourage, you educate, you train, you encourage, and then you get a genius.
How is that genuity developed in the child? What is the best way to bring out that genuity in the child?
It's for you to, first of all, find out what the child likes and what the child really loves to do. It's not just something he does it because you ask him to do it, but you're doing it much more than the instruction to do it. So if you say, let's go and watch football, he'll watch football and watch football, and at the end of the game, he will want to watch another game of football. Or sing, he will sing and sing and sing, and at the end of that song, he'll want to sing another song. Or dance, you dance and dance, and at the end, you still want to continue dancing. So there are people that will always manifest unusual love or passion for activities or particular events. I mean, look at Picasso, paint and paint and paint and paint and paint and paint. And Mozart, music, compose. So we always have that all around. We have these historical examples that we can look at and be absolutely convinced that the child that you have in front of you is a genius in a specific field.
In a specific
field.
Quite a number of people have been critical of that phrase, that every child is a genius. Now, if you've got comments, you can send emails to brunch@loveworldtv.co.uk. I will tell you more about that. Let's go to the event on education that has been on the tabloid of the papers. Now, Chancellor Alistair Darling pledged to create 20,000 new university places to cope with the surge in demand. How would this affect the current A-level, IB, or AVCE students?
Yeah, all the students have applied this year. Whether you are doing A-level subjects or you're doing vocational qualification like AVCE, or you are in fact doing the IB, you are going to have to know, A, whether you'll be given an offer, B, what are the conditions of your offer. Now, if you're unable to meet the threshold, which is the condition of your offer, it essentially means that Alistair Darling is saying, we cannot accommodate you. So although you've been given offers, your offer is literally written in pencil. It can be wiped out or erased if you don't meet the conditions of the offer, because there are very, very few people. Less than 5% of all the applicants had what is called an unconditional offer. That means whatever happens to your grades, we still want you. Those, the rest 95 have been told, go and achieve a grade A or a grade B or a grade C in one particular subject, or go and achieve a merit or a distinction in your diploma or whatever you're studying. So because of that, you have to be very, very focused, because if you don't meet it, you're gone. Before, in previous years, if you didn't meet it, there were provisions made for you. But because of the huge number of applicants this year and the previous year, it means there's going to be a lot of rejections, quote unquote rejections. I mean, students that would otherwise have been given HND or probably foundation degree, you will not have the spaces now.
What other options have the students? Thank you so much. Now let's go over and see what's happening in Texas. A college professor at Dallas has said Twitter is boosting classroom participation on her courses. Now, how can parents harness the enthusiasm brought on by social networking sites? Can we actually borrow what the professor in Dallas has actually said?
Yeah, because there's a lot of good in it. I know he's got a lot of bad media recently saying that the children get addicted and children stay on for longer than what they're supposed to. But as far as I'm concerned, Twitter is a social network. That means an opportunity for people that have common interests to exchange views and ideas and opinion. And that fundamentally, there's nothing wrong with that.
I think what most parents are concerned about is what that child will be discussing on Twitter.
Yes. So that's a separate issue. The mechanism of discussion is given to us. Whether we use it to discuss what is good, what is bad, or what is neutral, it depends essentially on our values, on our training. If I have never ever been interested in stargazing, I'm not going to join the discussion group for stargazing. If I'm interested in football, I'll join the group for football, and I will tweet about football. So the subject matter should be a matter of relevance to the child's development, relevance to the topic that, for instance, the professor was discussing a scientific topic. Then you can discuss photosynthesis, and you bring your view, and I bring my view, and we can discuss as much as possible. Or if it's algebra, you can bring your view on algebra, and I say, oh, I had a very difficult life going through algebra, and say, no, there's an easy way of doing it. So it's a discussion forum. So there's nothing inherently wrong with it. So, and what we've done is really harnessed to say as many possible opinions as we can have on any object. We can then have a multifactorial view of it. So if I'm just looking at this and you look at this aspect, I bring the other aspect, then we are, and the third person brings the third aspect. So we have a better view of this object. But if we have one perspective, then that's dangerous. And that can lead to social isolation. That can lead to all sorts of feeling of depression and thinking that the whole world is on to you. But if you come into a medium where people share their problems, share their views, share their challenges, and then share their solutions, then that's what humanity is all about. To help one another and care for one another.
How can parents effectively monitor their kids' discussions over Twitter and other social networking sites?
Oh, there are useful tools that the browser has now. You can check history. The irony of that is that if the parents are informed and educated and trained in the act of browsing, they will be one step ahead of their child and be able to know what is happening. But what most parents have done is allow the children to lead the way, and therefore the children become experts in it, and therefore play tricks on the parents, are able to even maneuver their ways through so that the parents are lost in the dark. As a parent, I feel that is irresponsible, that really, really irresponsible. You should find out what your child is doing, A, harness what your child is doing, B, study the technology that is assisting your child, and the technology that will be vulnerable to you getting involved in such, the child involved in such things, and get things like software, Net Nanny. It's a good software that you can have on your machine that can block away some terms. So if your child goes to a particular field or even puts in a term there that is not consistent with your value, it blocks it. So if there's anything on pornography, it completely blocks it. If there's anything that is indecent, it blocks it. So you can set up your browser in such a way that your son or your daughter is prevented from going to some site and is prevented from even using some words. So you can have a collection of words that you know it stinks and something that you oppose as a parent, and you put that there. So what you need is training. And if you have any questions on that, you can follow us on Twitter. We have the imafidons.com or twitter.com/theimafidons, and we give you tips on how you can help your revision and educate yourself and really play to your strength. Look at your hobbies using Twitter. It's a good tool.
It's a good tool. So the best thing is for the parents to actually be one step ahead of the child.
Right. That's right.
Easter holiday. It is Easter holiday. A lot of kids are at home. What should they be doing right now?
If you are in year 6, you should not have any time to waste at all, because all the year 6 students, remember, as soon as you come back from Easter on the first week of May, you are going to face your final exam, your SAT exam. So you must get all the past papers